honestly haven't
No,
seen this?
I haven't seen this.
Okay, this is just this afternoon. The Sacramento Kings are going, bear with me, going back to the well with the same trade package they offered Toronto twice for Anunoby and Pascal Siakam. The offer includes Barnes, Herter, draft pick compensation. They're known to have had calls with Chicago involving Zach LaVine and Alex Caruso. How about that?
Now, who's this Yahoo again?
This is Matt Moore. Kings would love to keep Malik Monk and will offer him the max they can at 4 years, $78 million. They realistically won't be able to match offers from teams like Detroit, Charlotte, Orlando. That, in part, is what makes LaVine more attractive to them at a discounted price after his trade market value hit rock bottom at the deadline. So this is a new report.
I gotta look this guy up. Hold on.
After talks at the deadline.
What's Matt? I don't follow Matt Moore.
I'll tell you all about Matt Moore in a second. But first, listen to this. The Kings are expected to renew conversations with Washington for Kyle Kuzma, especially with the Wizards potentially adding a front court starter in the draft later this month. That's Action Network's Matt Moore, June 18th, 2024. Welcome back.
What's his handle, Jay? What's his Twitter handle?
I think it's actually Action Network. Action Network, something like that.
Matt Moore has covered the. I knew you were going to ask, so I actually got his bio because I knew Drake's
because man,
for a while, Drake.
But I don't. If I don't follow him, Jay, I don't. Okay. I don't put much stock in him.
I'll say this though, Drake, before you go, because you're on vacation. So let me just go in there and jump in front before I take a step back. That ain't no reporting. We all know that.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Drake's knew that. I'm going on vacation.
I thought, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out the news here, and I did not see that tweet. You got the tweet right there, Whitey?
No, this was not a tweet, but I have his bio. Article. And by the way, I do think it's news if they've had calls with Chicago, and we're talking about since the trade deadline, and if they're expected to go back to Washington. That's a little more.
Let me say this, Whitey. Let me just say this
first. Matt Moore has covered the NBA for 17 years. He's Moore as an NBA awards voter in 2017.
Is that on his bio?
He's considered one of the leading analysts online when it comes to the MVP race.
All right, here's the thing.
Bio.
Here's the thing.
Hardwood
paradoxisms.
Hardwood, yeah.
Oh, that. Okay, yeah. I've heard of that one. I don't think I followed them. But here's the thing. We, like Jay said, we knew that. I don't bring up Zach LaVine like it's just some wish or something like that. It makes total sense. Now, the problem is, when you look at talks with Chicago, if you try to include Alex Caruso, that's where I think we fall short in terms of a package.
Mm-hmm.
Because Alex Caruso by himself could fetch a couple of first rounders. And so now you're telling me Caruso and Zach LaVine? I could see us trying to get both of them in terms of being realistic, because that's what I am, Whitey. I'm not a trade machine guy. I'm not a pie-in-the-sky fan in my grandma's basement. I'm telling you the real deal, how front offices operate. Why would Chicago do that package that we just mentioned?
Well, I don't know that they would, but to answer your question, it's because they want to get out from under Zach LaVine's deal. So if they get somebody to take that deal off their hands and they get draft pick compensation they like, they might consider it. Now, I got to say this. You're not going to like what Jay and I were saying yesterday about the Kings standard offer, which seems to be Barnes and Herter plus draft pick compensation. A story came out yesterday. Michael Scotto reported that the Kings are believed to be, according to GMs, the Kings are offering Harrison Barnes and Kevin Herter. It's like they've been offering that for a long time.
Right. Yeah.
That's like, what do we say, Jay? That's like the Toyota,
Toyota Corolla base package.
Yes, exactly.
Don't diss my guys like that.
No, it's just,
I hear you. Right. It's been out there. That package is one of those packages that you have in your back pocket.
Right.
And if you need it, it's there. If that's the package that's been offered at the trade deadline too. I know. And so if teams aren't biting on it then, why would they bite on it now?
Right.
That's my concern. I will say this, and I did see the report about OG Anunoby not being happy with what the Knicks might be offering in terms of a new contract. Is that a guy that we might be able to get in the mix for? Pascal Siakam, put that out of your mind, Kings fans. That's not going to happen.
How do we get OG? How could we?
Trade situation?
So like a sign and trade? Or?
Sign and trade?
Because he's asking for it. Like the Knicks might give him 35 and he wants more, right?
And he wants more. 35 million?
Yeah.
He's not
he wants
worth
his birds
that.
rights.
He's not worth that, right?
He wants his 46.
He's not worth
the
OG.
floor, I guess what I read yesterday, I forget who wrote it now. The floor for him is like 35 and the ceiling is a max deal. And a lot of teams are going, well, we might give him 35. We're not giving him a max deal. It looks like maybe that's what he's hoping to get. Something more like that.
Yeah. But if you're the Knicks and he's not going to, it behooves you to try to get a little something of a sign and trade.
Yeah.
Now, OG Anunoby, meanwhile, the ball is totally in his court. If he wants to come to Sacramento, he can force the hand, meaning, you know what, Kings, I want to come there, make it happen, sign and trade. But he has to want to come here. Now, that would be a guy I think could fit and I would be happy with.
He's unrestricted, right?
Yeah, unrestricted. Yeah. Right. But it'd have to be like he wanted to go to Boston or the Lakers, like some team, and that's the only team he wants to sign with, sort of like almost sort of like Carmelo did with the Knicks if you forced his way by way of trade. Anthony Davis forced his way by way of trade. OG could say, the team I want to sign with is the Sacramento Kings. They don't have the space. Can we do a sign and trade? It would behoove the Knicks to do it because they're going to lose them to somebody no matter what. It would behoove the Kings to do it because you get a guy like Anunoby, but that's only if
he wants to do
it. And Sacramento is his destination.